Hello and welcome to Reason News. Today we bring you a comprehensive report on a pivotal moment in South African governance, the National Assembly's passing of the 2025 and 2026 Appropriation Bill. The bill authorizing the government's spending across all departments were passed amid lively debate, political divisions and widespread implications for the country's fiscal landscape. On Wednesday, in a marathon session held at the Cape Town International Convention Centre, the National Assembly approved the Appropriation Bill for the 2025 and 2026 financial years. This bill is essential because it legally grants government departments the authority to spend from the National Revenue Fund for the upcoming fiscal cycle. The bill represents a total allocation of approximately 1.23 trillion rand. Votes were cast manually, requiring a quorum of at least 201 members from the 400-seat House. The bill passed with a significant majority, 262 MPs in favour, 90 against and no abstentions. The bill garnered support from a diverse range of political parties, including the African National Congress, Democratic Alliance, Inkatha Freedom Party, Patriotic Alliance, Freedom Front Plus, Action SA, Build One South Africa, Rise Mzansi, African Christian Democratic Party, United Democratic Movement, Al-Jama'ah, Pan-Africanist Congress and Good Party. Opposing the bill were parties such as the MK Party, Economic Freedom Fighters and African Transformation Movement, among others. The opposition voiced strong objections, citing concerns over fiscal transparency, priorities and the perceived political weaponization of the budget within the Government of National Unity. During the extended debate, Deputy Minister of Finance David Masondo urged MPs to support the bill, emphasizing the necessity of passing the budget to allow government to deliver essential services and protect vulnerable populations. Opposition speakers, particularly from the EFF and MK Party, accused ruling parties and coalition partners of misusing the budget to advance neoliberal policies at the expense of the poor. A light-hearted moment arose when a voting discrepancy involving a member of Al-Jama'ah was humorously explained by the party leader as a logistical mishap. The Appropriation Bill outlines specific funding allocations by department and sector covering compensation of employees, goods and services, transfers and subsidies to various government entities, and capital asset investments. This comprehensive budget underpins government operations, social programs, infrastructure development and economic initiatives designed to foster growth and stability. Here's a video from the SABC News.
This bill occurs in a context upon which 22 cents of our money is spent on debt servicing costs. It occurs at a time where we have to prioritize supporting the social wage, but ultimately it is growth and infrastructure-led growth that is going to take us forward. 61% of our budget is in the social wage. And if we are not careful in how we prioritize budgeting, honorable members, in the outer year of this medium term, we will be spending more on social grants than we do, in fact, on any other economic area. It is also deeply concerning that as you look at the budget that is being put here, 1% of the total appropriation is spent on innovation and areas that improve growth, small business, trade and industry. These are small budget areas, and that is why we welcome the expenditure being put in the Department of Transport, over 1.3 trillion rand over 2025-2026 as a commitment to infrastructure growth. It's going to be important, honorable members, as I want to anchor this discussion to say, let us also focus on reforms. That is why the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure must continue to audit all and identify abandoned and underutilized state assets. This will mean that we no longer have to pay inflated prices on office space. It's important that the Department of Public Service and Administration must expeditely audit ghost workers and ensure that we conduct lifestyle audits across all departments. Fellow South Africans, as we continue this process, especially in the medium term, let us prioritize the funding of ECD centers. If our kids don't start school well, they don't finish well. Let's ensure that we fund the money that has been in the gap for PEPFAR, and as we face geopolitical wars. We need to be clear about when we do spending reviews in this medium term, we must be far more efficient in how we deal with the money that has been allocated to us. And that ultimately, future policy and budgetary direction around COVID-19 must be clarified sooner rather than later as we begin next year's budget process.
The passage of the Appropriation Bill represents a critical step for South Africa's fiscal governance, as it enables government departments to carry out mandated programs and initiatives for the fiscal years 2025 and 2026. Now, the bill's passage helps avoid a funding gap that could disrupt public service delivery and economic plans. It reflects ongoing negotiations and compromises within the Government of National Unity, featuring various political players and interests. Observers note that while the bill passed comfortably, the dissent highlights enduring political tensions shaping South African budget politics. With the bill passed, focus now shifts to the implementation of the allocated budget across government departments, monitoring execution to ensure transparency, accountability, and delivery on key services, and the political dynamics as parties prepare for forthcoming fiscal discussions and governmental priorities. With the bill passed, government can now proceed with its fiscal plans. But as Gerber and Felix emphasize, the real challenge lies ahead, ensuring that allocated funds translate into tangible improvements in the lives of citizens. Their reporting has drawn attention to the risks of underspending, mismanagement, and the need for robust oversight, a message echoed by civil society and opposition parties. Civil society organizations, business groups, and international observers are watching closely. The coming months will test whether the government can deliver on its promises and whether the coalition can maintain cohesion as budget pressures mount. The National Assembly's approval of the 2025 and 2026 Appropriation Bill punctuates a landmark moment in South Africa's fiscal calendar. It underscores the delicate balance of political will, governance, accountability, and national development goals. We will continue to bring you updates on the budget's rollout and its impact on South Africans' daily lives. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, stay informed, updated, and curious.